So pretty much every single Trump economic policy that produced a boom has been reversed by the Biden gang that is producing a bust. I don't like it one bit. I'm powerless, at least for the moment. But we need some more commentary on this. And joining us is our great friend, Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota. Senator Cramer, thank you, sir, as always. You know, I just think if you go back and look, I know there's a lot of speculation regarding this outrageous raid in Mar-a-Lago. And people are saying, well, Biden at all costs does not want Trump on the ballot in 2024. I'm not smart enough to know anything about all these legalisms in politics.
Sure.
But here's what I think I do know, Senator Cramer. I know that the woke Biden economic policy has tried to repeal the tax cuts, the deregulation, the fossil fuel spigot, and even federal spending. I mean, they have reversed everything. And look what it's gotten us. That's, I guess, the bottom line is we've gone from boom to bust in, what, 18 or 20 months or even less than that with high inflation. So, like, Senator, you know what? If this newfangled big government socialism was going to work, why hasn't it worked already, sir?
Well, first of all, Larry, it hasn't worked in any country where it's been tried. Socialism has failed everywhere, so why we want to try it is beyond me. But you touched on something really important when you compare, juxtapose the Trump administration with this administration, because in my mind, the thing that Donald Trump had going for him in his 2016 election was he clearly understood that the federal government was the problem, and he articulated that. The size of the deep state, the size of the bureaucracy, what he underestimated was just how strong that bureaucracy really is. And so while he was reducing regulations and while he was both through rulemaking process, legislating, as well as, you know, just guidance from the bureaucracy, people were working against him at every turn. And even at that, he was able to accomplish a lot. And what we saw was that the private sector and investment follows lower taxes, fewer regulations, and frankly, even a better environment that's manifests itself just in attitude. Right. And so now you have exactly the opposite. And so this changes the investment mind. It changes, by the way, the relationship with states. You know, I wrote a 22-page essay for the Harvard Law and Legislative Review that just came out in June that talks about the bureaucracy and the heavy hand of the bureaucracy and the throwing out the states. And it focuses on cooperative federalism. Donald Trump understood the value of states and state regulation and state oversight, and that was a game changer in terms of unleashing ingenuity, innovation, and our economy.
I mean, I always thought, look, you know, when I was a child, I worked for Ronald Reagan, and I always learned, you know, that government that governs least governs best. Now, it just seems to me with Team Biden, it's that government that governs most or best, or whatever the right adjective is going to be. I mean, you couldn't have a clearer difference in philosophy. I think President Trump fell on the limited government side. I think we probably spent too much, but on taxes and regulations and energy and so forth, I think he was good. He's a good law and order guy. In other words, my thought is, if the Bidens are so good at this, where are the economic results? So they roll back these policies, they rail against Trump every chance they get, and so forth and so on. So where's the prosperity? Where's the boom? Where's the low food prices? Where's the low gasoline prices? You follow? At some point, common sense says, show me the money, show me the results. I don't see them.
Well, you're exactly right. And the problem, I believe, is in their hearts, because they believe that there are too many people making too much money and that all we need to do is take more of their money away from them, redistribute it to people who have less, and somehow that's good for the economy all the way around. And of course, that has failed everywhere it's been tried, but they're trying it again. Whether even this crazy idea of forgiving student loan debts at $10,000. Larry, if they took all of that money and just forced every student to take an economics 101 class or supply side economics class or study Milton Friedman under Art Laffer, we would do so much more for the economy than what they're trying to do. The problem is their constituency is that very government that they're growing. That they love that government. They love the power of it. They love the dependency of it. They love the organization of it. And that's just a fundamental difference between us and them.
You know, Senator, that's such an interesting point you just made. So I don't think it's good public policy to forgive student loans. I think you're asking 70% of the taxpayers to pay for 30%. And those numbers have stood the test of time. But you know what? If you told me that the people with student loans have been studying Milton Friedman and Friedrich Hayek and Art Laffer, I might be willing to forgive those loans. Wouldn't that be something? Free market. If you could prove to me that you were taking a good course that taught those books, those textbooks, I don't know, I'd probably forgive the loans. What you think?
No, I think that's a swell idea. In fact, I think everybody ought to buy Dick Armey's memoirs and read that as well. And you can find out what works best. But we do have an economic illiteracy problem right in our own government. I mean, this Jennifer Granholm, the Secretary of Energy, every time she talks, I swear to God, there's a professor somewhere in an economics department going, what did I do wrong?
Where did I go wrong?
It's unbelievable what these people believe.
Well, it's going to, wait a second, let me get, your solar panels are going to be 30% less, so you're going to have a big cost saving. The problem is they cost $15,000 or $20,000. Wait, your Tesla may be less, but you're still going to have to pony up 75 or 80 grand if you can get your hands on one. These are cost savings, Senator Cramer. How could you not have? How could you miss that?
As I've said many times, if you give somebody a $7,500 Tesla tax credit, the price of a Tesla goes up $7,500. It's basic 101. In fact, Ford just announced that they're going to do exactly that.
Yes.
So and
GM
what can you say? It's sometimes you can't get through. Then GM too. And why wouldn't they? It's the most natural incentive in the marketplace. This is why the government should stay out of the marketplace. And what happens is with all of these ideas is they compound. So you end up having a tax credit for one thing. So they're competing at he has to have a tax credit, and you just pile tax credits on top of tax credits. And this is why corporate America gets bigger and richer, and the government gets bigger and poorer, and the middle income wage earner is scratching his going, my paycheck's not going as far as it used to.
And you get 150,000 IRS agents to sort through the tax credits
let's not
piled on the tax credits. I got to jump out. Senator Cramer, I love this idea. If a student reads Milton Friedman and Arthur Laffer, we're going to forgive their student loans. Senator Kevin Cramer, great stuff.